The years, they gnawed at me like a relentless rat, each passing day stealing another sliver of my memory. The once vibrant Oakhaven station, a symphony of bustling crowds and rhythmic train arrivals, had become a mausoleum of echoes. Dust motes danced in the pale slivers of sunlight that pierced the grime-coated windows, settling undisturbed on the ticket booth where I sat, hunched. Cobwebs draped the wrought-iron railings like macabre tapestries, and the once gleaming oak floorboards were now marred by countless scuffs and the faint outlines of faded advertisements, long since peeled away. I, too, bore the marks of time. My once sprightly frame was now stooped and frail, my hands gnarled and age-spotted. My uniform, once crisp and pressed, now hung loosely on my shrunken form, the vibrant colors dulled to a faded echo of their former glory. My eyes, once bright with youthful curiosity, were now clouded cataracts, their gaze perpetually fixed on the empty platform ahead. The platform itself stretched out before me like a forgotten stage, its once bustling activity reduced to a desolate expanse. The chipped paint on the platform edge flaked away like flakes of forgotten dreams, revealing the weathered concrete beneath. A single rusted gas lamp stood sentinel at the far end, its flickering flame casting long skeletal shadows across the deserted surface. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp stone and decay, punctuated by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures that had made the abandoned station their home. Yet, even amidst the decay, the echoes of the past lingered. The faint outline of a spilled suitcase, a faded newspaper headline clinging to a chipped bench, each a silent testament to the lives that had once passed through this forgotten gateway. And on nights veiled in an unnatural stillness, when the moon cast an eerie glow through the grimy windows, the memory of the white wanderer would claw its way back, icy tendrils wrapping around my heart, a chilling reminder of a past I desperately wished to forget. One such night, as the moon cast an eerie glow through the grimy windows, a tremor shook the station. My rheumy eyes snapped open, the echo of the tremor morphing into the unmistakable wail of a train whistle. A jolt of fear, sharp and real, shot through me. It couldn't be. The last train had stopped running decades ago, a victim of progress and dwindling ridership. The memory of that night was etched into my mind like a gruesome scar. The wind howled like a banshee, tearing at the station walls and swirling snow into a blinding white vortex. Visibility dropped to mere inches, the platform lights swallowed by the swirling chaos. Passengers huddled together, their faces etched with worry, as the promised train failed to arrive. Hours bled into one another, hope turning to despair as the storm raged on. Then, amidst the chaos, a beacon of hope emerged. The distant rumble of an approaching train cut through the storm's fury. Relief washed over the passengers as they rushed towards the platform, eager to escape the icy clutches of the station. The train, a behemoth of steel and steam, emerged from the swirling snow, its headlight slicing through the darkness. But something was different about this train. It was older than any locomotive I had ever seen, its paint chipped and its brass fittings tarnished. An unsettling aura surrounded it, a feeling I couldn't quite place. The conductor, a tall, gaunt figure shrouded in shadows, stood at the open door, his face obscured by the swirling snow. Despite the unease gnawing at me, I ushered the passengers onto the train, their desperate pleas for escape overriding my own reservations. One by one they boarded, their silhouettes swallowed by the darkness within the carriages. As the last passenger stepped aboard, the conductor turned to me, his eyes glinting with an unnatural light. "Are you coming, old man?" his voice rasped, carrying on the wind. But I couldn't move. My feet felt rooted to the spot, an unseen force holding me back. Or so I thought, but then seeing the urgency of my situation, I took on the courage to board the train as the last one to enter. The conductor's smile widened, revealing a glimpse of sharpened teeth, and the train lurched forward, its mournful whistle echoing through the storm. I watched, transfixed, as the spectral form of the train faded into the blizzard, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of those who boarded, never to be seen again. That was the last time anyone saw the Midnight Express, or any of its passengers, ever again. The blizzard subsided the next day, revealing an empty station and a single set of tracks leading nowhere. The legend of the White Wanderer and his spectral train was born that night, a chilling reminder of the night the last train left Oakhaven, taking with it a piece of my soul and the memories of all who boarded. And now, decades later, the impossible sound of the train whistle shattered the silence, sending shivers down my spine. The tremor that followed wasn't the groan of settling earth, but a tangible vibration, a feeling that something unnatural was about to take place. The hairs on my neck prickled, and a cold sweat slicked my brow. The train whistle wailed again, closer this time, carrying with it an otherworldly chill that froze the blood in my veins. It was a sound that defied logic, a harbinger of something sinister, a chilling reminder that some memories and some trains are best left undisturbed. It couldn't be. The last train had stopped running decades ago. I muttered it to myself. With trembling hands, I fumbled for my cane and shuffled towards the platform. The air hung heavy, thick with an oppressive silence that felt heavier than the approaching train. As it rounded the bend, its spectral form materialized, bathed in an unnatural white light. The train, an antique monstrosity with rusted iron and tarnished brass, screeched to a halt, its doors hissing open. Fear, cold and primal, coiled in my gut. But a morbid curiosity, a yearning to understand the years-long torment, propelled me forward. I shuffled towards the open door, the train's unearthly light reflecting in my clouded eyes. Inside, the carriages were shrouded in an inky darkness, punctuated by flickering gas lamps that cast grotesque shadows. A single figure stood at the far end, his back turned to me. The White Wanderer. My voice, hoarse and raspy, croaked out, "Who are you?" The figure slowly turned, revealing a face obscured by swirling shadows. A voice, ancient and laced with sorrow, emanated from the darkness. "I am a reminder, a harbinger of the forgotten." Forgotten? I echoed my voice, barely a whisper. "Forgotten promises, forgotten lives," the voice continued, its tone laced with a chilling finality. "This train carries the echoes of those lost, those who boarded with dreams and aspirations, only to vanish into the abyss." My mind reeled, the weight of his words crushing me like a collapsing mine shaft. The missing passengers, the unanswered questions, the whispers that had haunted Oakhaven for years, it all came flooding back, a torrent of fragmented memories breaching the dam of forgetfulness. Visions flickered before my eyes, vivid and horrifying. A blizzard howling like a banshee, its icy tendrils whipping against the exposed skin of my face. The desperate scramble for the train, a beacon of warmth and salvation amidst the swirling snow. The conductor's hurried instructions, his face etched with a grim urgency. The slam of the heavy doors shut out the howling storm and plunging us into a cocoon of artificial light and warmth. Then, a sudden jolt, the sickening screech of metal on metal, and the world dissolving into chaos. The train lurched violently, throwing me from my seat. Screams erupted around me, a cacophony of terror that echoed through the confined space. The lights flickered and died, plunging us into an inky blackness. Panic clawed at my throat, suffocating and relentless. I fought my way through the disoriented crowd, the air thick with the metallic tang of blood and the acrid scent of burning metal. Through the haze of terror, I glimpsed figures sprawled on the floor, their bodies contorted in unnatural positions, their faces pale and lifeless. But one fragment remained, sharp and undeniable, the piercing scream of a woman cut short in midair. The woman, her name, her face, lost to the ravages of time, but the echo of her terror resonated within me, a constant reminder of the forgotten tragedy. She, like countless others, had boarded the train that night, seeking refuge from the storm, only to vanish without a trace. Their stories, their hopes, their dreams, all consumed by the insatiable maw of the oblivion the train carried. The train continued its erratic journey, the rhythmic clickety-clack of the tracks replaced by a bone-jarring judder. Time seemed to stretch and contort, each agonizing second an eternity. Then, with a final ear-splitting shriek, the train lurched to a halt. Silence descended, broken only by the moans of the injured and the ragged gasps of those who still clung to life. I stumbled out of the wreckage into a scene of utter devastation. The once pristine train lay mangled and broken, its innards spilling onto the snow-covered tracks. The blizzard raged on, indifferent to the human tragedy it had witnessed. Panic turned to a chilling realization. We were alone. No rescue teams, no flashing lights, no sign of civilization. Just a mangled train, a handful of survivors, and a vast, unforgiving wilderness stretching out before us. Days turned into weeks, the survivors dwindling one by one. The harsh elements, the lack of food and shelter, and the ever-present despair claimed their lives. I watched, helpless, as the vibrant faces I had shared the journey with became hollow shells, their eyes vacant and devoid of hope. One by one they boarded a different train, a spectral one that arrived under the cloak of night, its whistle a mournful echo in the desolate landscape. Each departure chipped away at my sanity, leaving me a hollow shell of my former self. Finally, I was alone. The last survivor, stranded in a frozen purgatory, haunted by the ghosts of the past and the chilling certainty that I would soon join them on their eternal journey. But just as I succumbed to despair, a glimmer of hope flickered in the distance. A faint light, cutting through the swirling snow, beckoned me forward. With the last vestiges of my strength, I stumbled towards it, praying it wasn't another cruel illusion. As I drew closer, the light resolved into the familiar silhouette of Oakhaven Station, its windows glowing with an inviting warmth. A sob escaped my lips, a mixture of relief and despair. I had been found, but at what cost? The memories of the crash, the suffering, the loss, all came crashing back, a relentless tide threatening to drown me. And now, faced with the conductor of the spectral train, I was forced to confront the truth I had buried deep within. I was one of the missing passengers, a soul forever bound to the echoes of that fateful night. "And what of you?" I rasped, my voice barely audible. The figure took a step forward, the shadows parting to reveal hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through my very soul. "I am the conductor, the one who guides the lost souls on their eternal journey. But tonight," his voice dropped to a chilling whisper, "tonight I seek a new soul to join the ranks." Panic surged through me, icy tendrils of fear constricting my lungs. I stumbled back, my cane clattering to the floor. "No," I croaked, my voice barely a whimper. "I won't go with you." The figure advanced, each step echoing with an unearthly stillness. "You have no choice, old man. You are the keeper of memories, yet you have forgotten the most important one, the night the train vanished with all its passengers." His words struck a chord deep within me. A forgotten memory, buried beneath the layers of time, flickered to life. A blizzard, blinding and unforgiving. A desperate plea for shelter. The train, a beacon of hope, its doors beckoning. The memory shattered, replaced by a chilling realization. I was one of the passengers on that fateful night. I had boarded the train, seeking refuge from the storm, only to be consumed by the oblivion it carried. I was not supposed to survive, let alone be permitted to be alive right now. So instead of scheming to forcefully take my life away, he had been watching me and waiting for my end to arrive naturally. The conductor's hollow eyes bore into mine, a chilling smile playing on his lips. "Welcome back, old man," he rasped, his voice laced with a cruel amusement. As he reached out, his hand a skeletal claw, a primal scream ripped from my throat. But it was too late. The icy touch enveloped me, pulling me into the inky darkness of the train. The doors hissed shut, plunging the carriage into an eternal night. The train lurched forward, the mournful whistle echoing through the abandoned station, carrying with it the weight of forgotten memories and a chilling reminder of the price of forgotten promises. The next morning, the station was bathed in the pale light of dawn. An unsettling silence hung in the air, broken only by the creaking of the wind. On the platform, a single cane lay abandoned, a testament to the horrors that unfolded in the dead of night. The old ticket collector was gone, another soul claimed by the White Wanderer and his spectral train, forever bound to its eternal journey, but the whispers lingered, carried on the wind, a chilling reminder that some memories are best left forgotten, and some trains are best left unboarded.